Hey folks, this is Vincent Vinny Jr. with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to talk some X-Wing. So this is a completely unplanned video, so apologies if things are a little disorganized here. But I had received, basically multiple people had asked the same question on various videos of my X-Wing series. And I wanted to sort of answer that question as best I could via this video, as opposed to having to copy and paste my answer constantly throughout the different videos that I have. So the question was, for a new player who had just purchased the core game, what expansions would we recommend to a new player that just purchased the game? And I'll ask that of you. If you would be able to recommend expansions to a new player, which expansions would they be?
Probably Wave 1, because it's TIE Fighter, Y-Wing in that.
Okay, so Wave 1, that's the X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Y-Wing, and TIE Advanced. So, I'll take this a step further. Right now there's 6 waves, plus there's...
There's 7th coming out.
Well, the 7th one is coming out, there's
the
Ace Packs,
and then the huge ships.
And the huge ships. So there is a lot of different ships out there. Each of them have different ways that they play. Some are fast, some are slow. So I'm going to refine that question by limiting the answer to 2 Rebel ships and 2 Imperial ships. If you had to pick 2 Rebel expansions for a new player, what would they be?
Probably depends on what one. I know Y-Wing would be a good one because it's more not as complicated as like other bigger ones.
The Y-Wing because
it's less maneuverable with.
That's actually
it gives it more.
That's actually online with what I was thinking. The Y-Wing is sort of like it's a bomber class, so it's definitely not an X-Wing. It's not as maneuverable, but it has more hit points and it can feature a turret. That is something that the X-Wing cannot do. And with the Y-Wing expansion, you'll get some practice in using that ion cannon turret.
Which can help
or ion turret, rather.
And it's less, it doesn't have much moving, so it gives you less.
Right.
But it can give you it'll make it start.
I think the Y-Wing is a good complement to an X-Wing, just because it behaves differently, it's slower, it has more hit points, it has less agility to make up for that. But I do think the Y-Wing is a solid first choice for an expansion. What would your second Rebel expansion be?
Probably, I know, maybe an A-Wing, since...
An A-Wing, huh?
Fast and maneuverable.
Fast and maneuverable? Okay.
Some people like that,
I'm at ends with that. I mean, I like the A-Wing. The A-Wing, I think, are for people that have played the game for a while, because ships with low hit points, you have to have a lot of finesse with those ships. You have to be able to maneuver them around to avoid being hit, do barrel rolls.
The A-Wings are high agility.
They have high agility. I will grant you that. But on a lucky roll,
yeah, it's
very possible to take out an A-Wing in one hit. Let's say a TIE Phantom gets behind an A-Wing and hits him 4 times. That's an A-Wing has 2 shields and 2 hull, so that would take out the A-Wing regardless.
No, I believe it's 2 and 1.
Well, whatever.
That's the C95.
No.
C95.
I don't remember. I thought the A-Wing had 2 hull and 2 shields.
The C95s have more hull. They have less than an X-Wing, but more than an A-Wing.
Oh, okay. But I think the A-Wing and the TIE Interceptors require a little bit more finesse. I mean, yeah, if you like fast and agile ships, then A-Wing is a good choice.
Because they blister right through anybody.
Mm-hmm. My personal choice would have been another X-Wing. Just because in the core set you get Luke Skywalker and Biggs Darklighter, but whenever you purchase the X-Wing expansion, you also get Wedge Antilles and I think it's Garvin somebody. I don't remember off the top of my head. But that on top of having more pilots, X-Wing pilots, you'll also be able to practice flying in formation, and that's something I covered in another video, tips for new players, practicing flying in formation, and I recommended using the same ship class because they have the same maneuver dial. 2 X-Wings have the same maneuver dial, so it's easier to keep them in formation and practice that way. Whereas if you have an X-Wing and a Y-Wing, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Well, yeah, but they're not going to have the same maneuvers.
If you have like 2 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wing, you can keep them in formation together because it'd be X-Fort.
Mm-hmm.
It's what TIE bombers get. 2 TIE fighters looks for a TIE bomber.
Well, speaking of TIE bombers, let's quickly cover the Imperials, but my camera only has 10 minutes of video at a time, so I have to turn this off and turn it back on, so bear with us. Alright, so we're back. So the other half of the question is, what 2 Imperial expansions would you recommend to first-time players?
First one is the TIE bomber.
TIE bomber.
Yes.
I agree.
It's less movable player than
it's less maneuverable, and on top of that, and the reason I picked this is because the TIE bomber has not only is it more tough in terms of hit points, but it can feature concussion missiles. That's something that TIE fighters cannot do, and bombs. So I think the TIE bomber is a nice complement to the TIE fighter, just as the Y-wing was a good complement to the X-wing, because the bomber classes can do things that those X-wings and TIE fighters can't do.
Those X-wings replaced the Y-wings afterwards, because the Y-wing was the main fighter until the X-wings came in.
In the Clone Wars or something?
Yeah. Y-wings, then the Rebels took all the Y-wings and started using them. But after that, the X-wing was created, which replaced the Y-wing. That's why the Y-wing's now a bomber class.
I see.
Afterwards.
He's all into the lore.
Yeah.
He has a book upstairs, so he reads a lot of that. So yeah, I agree. The TIE Bomber is an excellent expansion to get if you're a new player. As far as the other expansion for this, it depends. The TIE Advanced and the TIE Interceptor, both are very fragile ships. I would go with the TIE Advanced over the TIE Interceptor.
Because of the shields.
Not only because of the shields, it has more hit points.
It has less movement.
Or no, it has the same hit points, I think.
No,
2
it has
and 1.
the hull is 3, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, because it says fragile. It has the same hull.
Okay, I thought it was 2. I thought it was 2 and 1 for 2 shields and 1 hull for some reason. I could be wrong. It's been a while since we've played, and we don't have photographic memories. But the reason I picked the TIE Advance is because Darth Vader. Darth Vader is an excellent pilot. And he can do 2 actions. That is extremely powerful. Merrick Steele. They can also sport concussion missiles and other missiles. So I think that's a great complement. And they're also very maneuverable. And they're very fast.
But they only have like 2 ability compared to the TIE Fighter. They're less maneuverable than a TIE Fighter. So. And the TIE Interceptor is also a decent choice. I think the TIE Interceptor is... I find the TIE Interceptor difficult to maneuver sometimes, because the TIE Interceptor does not have like a 1 straight. It can only go like, I think it's 1 slight turn.
It can do a 1
and then
hard turn, I think, can't it? It can do
I believe so.
But if you want to go straight and slow with a TIE Interceptor, you can't do it. You end up having to go 2 or 3, and you end up overshooting your target. So, like, I have a hard time piloting.
They're very maneuverable.
On the plus side, they have 3 attack dice as opposed to a TIE Fighter or TIE Advance's 2. So the TIE Interceptors, they have less hit points. They don't have shields.
They're the same as the TIE.
They require a little finesse to maneuver, just like the A-wing does.
But they're powerful.
Yeah, they are.
Especially in large numbers. That's when they kill.
So, so just to recap, Rebel ships we picked X-Wing and Y. Well, I picked the X-Wing and Y-Wing as my expansions. You picked the Y-Wing and the A-Wing, right? And I honestly, I think those are solid choices for first-time players, especially those on a budget. If you have the money, I would recommend trying out the B-Wing. The B-Wing has a crap ton of hit points.
3 hull and 5 shields.
Yeah, and it
switches the shield.
The Y-Wing has 3 shields and 5 hull, whereas the B-Wing has 5 shields and 3 hull.
Which is
better critical hits, because
critical hits will kill you.
Critical hits do not affect shields. So the more shields you have, the less likely that you'll have, to get a critical hit.
Direct hits will 1 more on.
And on top of that, the Y-Wing only has 2 attack, I think.
And 4, but that turret will give it the...
Well, the turret is good, but the B-Wing, by itself, with its primary attack, has 3 attack dice, as opposed to the Y-Wings 2. So
yeah,
the
but they don't have that turret.
Well, no, but B-Wings can sport cannons, can't they?
Yeah, they sport cannons, torpedoes. We got that. Y-Wing sports torpedoes as well.
And the B-Wing can also do, K-turns, and they can do like a 2 hard bank, which is really good.
Yeah, it does the Y-Wing too. But It's funny though, because actually one of the pilots on the B-wing allows you to shoot a torpedo all the way around, even with not in your firing arc.
Yeah.
It fires either way.
That's what's making this question so difficult, because each expansion introduces some type of new mechanic or new ability that
makes it
that
hard.
Changes the game completely.
Like the larger ships would make you an advantage.
Well, that's my next question actually. If you had to pick one large ship on each side, what would you recommend? I know
Lambda class.
The Lambda, really? Why the Lambda?
Lambda is very strong.
The Lambda class is an Imperial ship for you newbies. The Lambda class, in my opinion, is...
It has strong thing, but
if you can keep it pointed at the enemy, yes. But it doesn't turn very well.
But the Lambda class... Because I remember when we usually the Lambda class will have a turret in the back, like a cannon turret in the back, but they didn't add that to it.
Not in this game. The Lambda class does have, in the lore, it has a turret in the back. And in the video games, if you've played X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Even it shows you on the back, has that little turret, the glass cannon turret.
But I bet they had to do it for balance purposes. Otherwise, the Lambda would be overpowered. Well,
the Slave 1 is overpowered.
That's my pick. Slave 1 is my pick.
He's overpowered. He can turn this way and just kill you.
Yeah. Well, I think Slave 1 is an excellent first choice for a large ship.
What's it called? The bounty hunter thing, the pirates, and what's it called? The other faction. Rebel Pirates.
See, that's another thing I want to address. I don't think new time players should actually get into the Scum faction right away.
Yeah.
I think they should concentrate on Imperials and Rebels. I think they should leave Wave 6 completely alone. Wave 7 that's coming out, don't touch the Scum there. I would stick with Wave 1 and 2, personally, but that's just...
Or then the...
Yeah, because Wave 4 introduces the TIE Phantom. That gets into cloaking, TIE Defender...
No, that's TIE Phantom.
That's what I just said, didn't I?
No, you said TIE Defender.
I meant TIE Phantom. The TIE Phantom has cloaking.
Yeah.
But getting back to the large ships, though, Slave 1 and my Rebel ship of choice, Millennium Falcon, is what I would choose as the Rebel ship.
Yeah, that would be mine probably. Because that rotating...
Yeah, it can fire 360 degrees.
There's not many large ships, though.
If you're looking for something with a little bit more kick to it on the Imperial side, try the VT-49 Decimator.
Oh my god.
That is a very powerful large ship, I think.
Yeah. Killed.
It's difficult to take one down. It has a lot of hit points, and it can fire 3 attack dice and 360 firing arc.
It's a turret.
It makes it really powerful.
Yeah, it's stronger than anything I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just to recap, I'm probably running out of time.
What about large ships?
We did large ships. I'm like, no, huge ships do not.
Yeah, no.
New players, no. No. Scum faction, no.
Scum faction, maybe.
Stick with simple. And speaking of simple, like I said, I have other videos out there, tips for new time players. Go check that out. I explain I basically advise you as to what you should do as a new player when you're just learning this game. And on top of that, I cover each of these ships in separate videos. I go over the pilot cards and the upgrade cards that come with them. So if there's a particular ship that you want to see, go check those videos out. I have...
Unless Wave 7, but we can't.
Well, I don't have Wave 7 yet. It's not out yet.
Yeah.
But
TIE Punisher, I want to see that.
I do want to see the TIE Punisher, and I want to see the K-Wing. I'm very interested in that.
I don't know what the Carrot Spider is. I know Houndstooth is.
Well, the Carrot Spider is sort of like an X-Wing. It's got similar to, I would say, like more like an E-Wing. A cross between an X-Wing and an E-Wing, I think. It's pretty good.
I know that.
Speaking of Wave 7, I did just release a preview of that. I did a PowerPoint presentation on the 4 ships in Wave 7, so go check that out after you're done here.
Houndstooth has a quad laser cannon turret.
Well, I don't know about it in this game. Alright.
I think it's going to be probably the same if they do. It's going to be the same attack powers of the laser cannon turret or something.
Well, I believe we're out of time. Again, X-Wing, Y-Wing, or A-Wing would be great choices. And then on the Imperial side, TIE Fighter, TIE Advanced, TIE Interceptor, TIE Bomber, or TIE... See what I mean? It's very difficult to limit our selections to just one. There's so many things that you could choose
that could affect.
Yeah.
Like the B-Wing is another good example, because that B-Wing is slow as like a Y-Wing, so it really gives you...
What?
Yeah,
the camera shut off on us. That was the camera's way of saying, alright, end the video already. We get it. The game is a mess. So The game is just huge. It's massive.
We had the 2 large ships out. The huge ships over there.
No huge ships.
Yeah, that's actually, we have the 2, but we don't, there's a 3rd one. Mm-hmm. So, the PR Raider class.
Let's not, again, the camera shut us off once. Let's just end the video and be done with it. So there you have it. Like I was saying, go check out my other videos. If there's a particular ship you want to see, I've covered it. So that way you can see if it's a ship that you want to buy. Yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can keep up to date with any future content I happen to release. And I also have an official website out there, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. This is Vince and Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.